listening to a podcast earlier, and there was the guys are from Minnesota. It's called The Middle of Somewhere, and the one guy, Cy Amnerson or whatever, he's a comedian. When they grew up, they never bought their own meat. The only meat they would eat was stuff that they killed: elk, bear, whatever they could fish or kill. That's what they ate growing up.
That was my house, unless the once a month steak night. That was my house. We'd either have venison butterfly steaks or neck roast or duck or grouse or catfish or fish, or it was always something. I grew up in a house that had a lot of hunting, and we had steak once a month, and that was like the one time that the parents would go out and like purchase meat to cook. Everything else was like stuff that had been in the freezer since like last hunting season, and this hunting season's coming up.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool because, and I didn't live that life. It was like a lot of order out Domino's and frozen meals, which in Tennessee, you can get arrested apparently for putting meth in a frozen lasagna box, because that apparently is going to be our next article. That was a pretty good segue. I was trying to roll with that, and I'm glad that one worked out. So Monroe County, go ahead.
Isn't that better than like extra preservatives?
I don't know. I've never methed around. I'm going to go with the preservatives, I think, in the frozen lasagna. And so Monroe County Sheriff's, the Office of Narcotics Division, nabbed 2 suspects. I like that they said nabbed. They nabbed them. Donovan McNabbed them. 2 suspects in a search warrant on Tuesday that also yielded more than 200 grams of methamphetamine. And officials are tracking and thanking the Bethlehem community for several calls of complaints on suspected drug trafficking in the area. Most of the meth was found at a residence along this road that nobody cares about, and they were recovered from a frozen lasagna box in a freezer on the property. Who would have thought to look into it? Apparently, they had to do a lengthy investigation of the suspects, and shout out to the Sweetwater Police Department, because you guys probably get a lot of... I feel like Sweetwater's not a very manly cop shop name.
Just a heads up, Wrath. In Oregon, voters in 2020 voted to decriminalize small amounts of meth. So that is one state where it is actually legal to possess.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What the?
Breaking Bad came out too early. That whole show would be completely different now. They're like, we're selling meth, and they're like, and they're like, what do you mean? They're like, we're drug dealers. They're like, no, you're legalized fucking prescription. What do you mean? What?
Like, is there, Matt, is there a picture of this, by the way, on the website where we can see the meth with the
oh yes, there is. I'm glad you asked. It's pretty, but of course, these guys had to go ahead and throw in their cool badges. This is property number 224, and here's the meth that was in the lasagna box.
That is a decent amount of meth right there.
Yes. So right in there, in
that's like a gallon Ziploc.
Yeah.
But at least they used the correct Ziploc bag. That looks like one of those make sure you freeze it bags.
Yep, that's a freezer bag for sure.
I mean, they had a method to their madness.
Oh,
nice.
There.
Yes, that's 330 calories apparently worth of it, or maybe 224. That's why it's on there. The lasagna is 330. The meth was only 224 calories. Family size, though. It's a good thing they got the family size.
Dessert.
Yep. Yeah, I'd like to see what else apparently was hidden in that freezer. But Tennessee.
Oh, you know what? I have to agree with Fitz here. I can see shrooms being legalized before meth. I can totally see shrooms.
Now, are you talking from the federal level, or?
I'm talking about, I mean, when you're talking about the effect of a drug, right? Like I've never understood the criminalization of weed, like of marijuana. I've never understood that. I don't really necessarily understand shrooms either. I don't know of any extremely harmful effects of shrooms.
Diarrhea.
I mean, okay, so we're what? We're going to criminalize Taco Bell now, or
no. I'm in agreement with everything you're saying. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no. I knew what you were saying. I saw an opening, but I've never understood the criminalization of certain drugs, right? Like marijuana. There's so many amazing effects that are helpful when you talk about marijuana or hemp. There's so many things that you can make out of hemp that could solve a lot of issues, and it's that whole, and not to get political, it's that whole 1980s Nancy Reagan war on drugs bullshit that really killed all of this. Now look what it's doing now. Legalization of marijuana in some states has caused such a surplus of money that they're doing dividends during tax time to give money back, or they're really improving the quality of life in their areas because of this. And I mean, people's lives are improving. I myself, as a veteran of 20 years with a lot of different body pains, PTSD, things like that, as somebody that lives in a state where marijuana is not legal, but yet I've still tried it because I'm tired of taking so many pills. I've noticed the benefits of such drugs to see how they can help. And it just boggles my mind why there's still such a fight against these things.
I think folks have kind of understood the history of it and how far it goes back to why weed is so there's such a stigma against it going back generations. That said, I think I've got a lot of friends who are 100%, weed cures all this, cures that, it does all this, it's great for everybody. I'm not in agreement with that, and for obvious reasons. And just give me a sec. Bob Marley died of cancer, so I mean it doesn't. But that said, I think it helps a lot of people, and individually, folks should be able to choose what they want to do. Look at how pervasive, and I love alcohol, but look at how pervasive alcohol is in our society, and how welcomed and accepted it is in our society to just go down the road and pick up alcohol, which could kill you in a day. Mm-hmm. So, or in a night, or in a bottle. So, yeah. So I'm completely
into that, brother.
And I've had
I love alcohol, but consenting adults should be able to choose what to do. Is what I think.
And to kind of add to that, I've seen, this is just me personally in my life, I've seen alcohol ruin a lot more people's lives than weed has. So, but it could be worse. It could be there. That hat is pretty amazing. So for anybody that is only listening to this, Toby has an amazing snowman hat with what is that, like a little plaid brim. It's weird to see him in a different hat, and
a little red and black, plaid, I guess plaid. Yeah, plaid. Nowadays we look at this and we go, oh, flannel, like, so that's why I'm thinking flannel, and it's got this little black tuft ball.
Oh, that's what really makes
this tech. I don't know with Canadians if they would consider this now to be a toque because it's got the puff ball on the top.
Yeah,
I need a Canadian to tell me, but
I mean, we're border town, but we're not technical Canadian. But so that nose is super excited to see you, and I like when you lean back that it blurs it out, almost like it's censoring the nose.
What? Hey, I got one for you. What did one snowman say to the other snowman? Do you smell carrots?
Get that man out of this chat right now.
Wow.
You've been fired.
Shout out Rozzy. Thank you for the super sticker. You
shout out,
are absolutely amazing. We greatly appreciate you. And